This might be a touchy subject for some, but buckle up. Because today we are diving into the latest attempt by the Irish government to solve road safety issues. Speed limit restrictions. Yes, from February 7th, 2025, we're getting new speed limits. On paper, it's all about saving lives, reducing road fatalities, and making Ireland a safer place to drive. But is this the true intention? Let's just say I have some thoughts. So let's go through the changes in a nutshell. The rural local roads will be dropping from 80 km an hour to 60 km an hour. National secondary roads will be down from 100 km an hour to 80 km an hour. Urban core areas, housing estates, town centres, etc., will be reduced to 30 km later this year. Now, these changes are supposed to curb fatalities and serious injuries, which, to be fair, is a very important goal. Road deaths have been on the rise, from 132 deaths in 2021, the safest year on record, although let's be honest, that's very high still, jumping from 180 in 2023, and while 2024 saw an improvement, we're still not hitting safety targets. And to everyone's surprise, the public are not thrilled. Some are calling this a classic case of papering over the cracks. But from my research, I was able to find three camps. The first one are the sensible drivers, most likely you and I, who will just sigh, adapt and spend more time in their cars. We'll be a little bit frustrated, but look, it's the law and we should all obey it. Secondly, we have the slow drivers who will go even slower now, backing up traffic and causing frustration. And finally, we have the speeders, who are the real culprits, who will naturally just keep on speeding regardless of the speed limits, possibly because of the second, slow drivers. Now, here's where I step in with my opinion, because frankly, I think the whole thing feels less like a road safety strategy and more of a cash grab. Speeding fines bring in a ton of money for the government, so forgive me if I'm not convinced that this isn't padding their pockets. I drive a lot, around 800 kilometers a week, and let me tell you, the real problem isn't just speed. It's simply bad driving as a whole. People who are on their phones while driving, completely distracted. This is a very common sight I see on the M50. No one really seems to know how to properly use the motorway, by the way, while we're on topics of motorways. They usually just stick to the right lane and cruise at 110, which is supposed to be designed for overtaking. You then encourage undertaking, cause traffic, and you just annoy everyone. I have witnessed one or two cases of people blatantly driving under the influence. And also, do not get me started on the drivers who crawl around 20 or 30 kilometers under the limit, causing overtaking chaos, which leads to accidents. I have dashcam footage, which I will be sharing in this section, of the truly appalling behaviour that I've witnessed. Trust me, none of it would be fixed by lowering the speed limits. If we are serious about improving road safety, this is what needs to happen. The crackdown on mobile phone usage has to be a thing. This is a massive issue, especially on motorways. People are glued to their phones and they aren't looking on the road. It's just that simple. Enforce tougher penalties, run awareness campaigns, and invest in tech to catch offenders. The current driving test system I find is also extremely outdated. Instructors are teaching old-fashioned techniques, and drivers are passing tests without actually knowing how to handle real-world situations. Restructuring it, adding more practical scenarios, reducing the wait times for the test, and focus on more modern driving challenges. And finally, penalise slow drivers. Yep, you heard me. Drive well below the speed limit without any valid reason is simply dangerous. It frustrates other drivers, leads to risky overtaking, and it contributes to accidents. If we are fining speeders, why not fine the overly cautious? Adding to my second point, I think general car education is another area that we can improve in, because most people don't really know when their tyres need to be changed, let alone know how to do basic maintenance. Running national campaigns to educate drivers on car safety, because road safety isn't just about speed, it's about state of the vehicles too. I check my tyre pressures once every 4 weeks, same with engine oil, same with the general condition of the tyres. If something is off to you, or if you can spot these things, then you should definitely get them changed. You then improve the condition of the vehicle, and ultimately you make it safer as well. As for the Irish roads argument, here's the thing. Our roads aren't perfect, but they're not the worst either. I've driven abroad and trust me, I've seen far worse. Most of Ireland's roads are in decent shape, especially compared to some places where potholes could swallow your car whole. The issue isn't the roads, it's the drivers. Until we address the real causes of the accidents, distractions, poor education and simply piss poor habits, These new speed limits will do little more than annoy the rest of us and extend journey times, and finally, it will absolutely pump the government with more and more speeding fines. Because at the end of the day, they don't care about road safety. All they care about is making the coin.
Securing the coin. Only certain man know what I'm talking about when it comes to securing the coin.
So yeah, I'm not buying into this long-term solution at all. It's a band-aid on a much bigger problem. So while I understand the intention, I think it misses the mark completely. Lowering speed limits might make it look like the government is doing something, but unless they tackle the root causes, we'll be right back here in a few years talking about why fatalities are still rising. If they really want to make roads safer, they need to stop taking the lazy populist route and actually invest in meaningful change. And yes, this might be just some typical car guy rant, but at the end of the day, what do I know? I'm just a guy who drives 800 kilometers a week, dodging clueless drivers and poorly thought out policies. Overall, I think this will just do more bad than good, but genuinely, I do hope this does have an impact on fatalities. I do hope it lowers it. I only want to see what's best for the roads and the people on it. And it must be absolutely devastating to leave one day and never come home. Anyways, that's the end of my rant. What do you all think? Do you think the speed limit changes will fix anything? Let me know down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to like, share and subscribe, tell your friends, hit the bell icon also. And finally, thank you all so much for watching. I promise I'll make more uplifted and happier videos from now on. Thank you all for watching once again, and hope to see you all very soon.